Since their initial appearance on our screens, Kirk and Rasheeda Frost's story has been a documented journey of love, devotion, treachery, and perseverance for the world to see. Atlanta fans were captivated by their relationship, which began in the periphery of the music industry and has always seemed to teeter on the edge of. Kirk Frost has officially filed for divorce, leaving the public in shock and Rasheeda in ruins. Kirk and Rasheeda were once the quintessential power couple, and Rasheeda, the boss chick and self-made entrepreneur, had been putting in a lot of effort in their app game, fought for notoriety in a field dominated by men even before reality TV. Kirk, with the help of her management and spouse, together they paved the way, one boutique, one mixtape, and one business venture at a time. In front of their fans, they always seemed to endure despite the strain on their relationship behind the scenes. Rasheeda represented the heart and the spirit. They always found their way back to each other, or so it seemed, while the cameras ran on love and hip-hop. Even though Kirk played the role of the businessman, strategist, and sometimes chastised spouse, Atlanta's rise in popularity made the previously private drama public. Viewers of Season 2 were shocked to see Kirk, who had vowed to protect Rasheeda, question the child's paternity. The attention was brought about by the same person who had made fun of her throughout the pregnancy of their child, Carter. During a cabin vacation, Kirk was caught having sex with other women, which would lead to the underlying principle of their partnership, because she loved her family and had faith in change. Rasheeda stayed even though the audience was crying with her. For a time, they seemed to be rebuilding, reaffirming their commitments, smiling more.
Every time I see her cry, I just...
See, that's what I'll be talking about. It's kind of... At the end of the day, y'all, on some real... It's like when you in a marriage and a commitment, and I grew up with this man, and he's hurt me, and it's crazy because he's also helped me grow to become the woman I am today. But when you hurt somebody and you dismantle a bond, that's the hardest thing to get over. Heartbreak is like the worst thing to get over. And I don't want to cry no more. I promise y'all. I said I ain't want to cry about this no more, because at the end of the day, this is a lesson. But more than anything, this is a lesson for you to understand what you've done. You know, we have children, and that's the main thing that bothers me, is we have children who look at you like a superhero.
Under the glistening surface, cracks were expanding. And in 2017, Kirk Ever-Present's name made news once more, despite appearing to be making amends and attempting to restore trust. Rasheeda went on to expand her business by opening stores and launching cosmetics. Time for the fathering of an adulterous kid. Former dancer Jasmine Washington claimed that Kirk was the father of her son, and paternity tests confirmed this. Rasheeda stayed after being brutally misled in public, even though she was criticized for being strong and too forgiving. Though it had shattered her, it was clear that Rasheeda loved Kirk and believed that marriage was sacred. The couple seemed to find happiness in their business, family, and future ambitions as the years passed, but supporters watched with cautious optimism, wondering if the past would ever come true again. A surprising development that no one had predicted: Kirk Frost has filed for divorce in Fulton County, according to court documents filed earlier this month. A union that has weathered many storms comes to an end with the grim and heartless documentation. Kirk said that irreconcilable disagreements were the reason for the divorce, over what most people could handle, despite maintaining a united front in public. The couple's insiders say that friction had been growing behind closed doors, so the divorce wasn't shocking. The emotional rift had grown too great to mend. 2 years of unresolved suffering and business conflicts. Rasheeda had been given devastating news. The businesswoman is being, according to a person close to her,
Some days I feel like, yep, filing for divorce. And other days, I just want to hide under the cover and disappear.
Her loved ones say she believed they were in a better place and that they were finally mending after everything they had been through. She gave that man her youth, her hopes, and her emotions. But Kirk's choice took her by surprise. When she fell madly in love with him, she forgave something that most women wouldn't even think about. And now she has to learn how to go on her own, the insider said. Rasheeda has remained largely silent since the announcement. She hasn't made any mysterious Instagram posts or public declarations. Just the quiet fortitude she consistently exhibits when life seems like it will fail her. Her comments have been inundated with responses from supporters, including "You deserve peace," "You gave your all," "Don't blame yourself," and more. "We saw you keep it down when he didn't. Now it's your turn to get up. Someone else left." Millions of people's hearts bear the imprint of their marriage. Their tale is a reflection of countless relationships that are imperfect, complex, and lovely in their own unique ways. It is not just about love and treachery. The divorce process starts. It's about the choices we make when we have a profound love for someone and the fortitude required to let go at last. Kirk hasn't said anything either anticipating criticism or retreating into his own thoughts. What's more complex than the legalities is figuring out how to disentangle over 25 years of common history. The boss of Rasheeda ever is supposed to depend on her enterprises, her family, and above all herself. She's a mother, a businesswoman, and a woman who has always transformed suffering into strength. She has always been more than just a wife. Fans will have to wait and see what Kirk does next. Maybe he will reflect on the choices that brought them to this point. Or maybe he will continue to be active in Rasheeda's life by co-parenting. But it is obvious that this chapter in their marriage is coming to an end. One of the most talked about reality TV shows has a bittersweet ending since we both celebrated and cried with the cast. Nevertheless, a fresh chapter is constantly ready to be written. And this could be the start of Rasheeda's most significant era, though it has been a roller coaster that has been chronicled for the world to witness since they first appeared on our screens. Kirk and Rasheeda Frost's story has long been one of love, devotion, treachery, and tenacity. Rasheeda is saddened, and the world is shocked by Kirk Frost's formal divorce filing, which follows decades of highs and tragic lows. Although Kirk and Rasheeda were once the quintessential power couple, their relationship, which started in the music industry's shadows, always seemed to hover between grandeur and collapse. The relationship between them captivated Atlanta fans. Long before reality TV, Kirk made her debut in the rap industry. The boss girl and self-made entrepreneur was making headlines. She fought for recognition in a male-dominated sector. One mixtape, boutique, and business venture at a time with the help of her manager and spouse. Despite the challenges they faced behind the scenes, they consistently appeared to deliver for her followers. It appeared as if everything changed as the cameras rolled. Kirk was the businessman, the strategist, and the sometimes criticized husband, while Rasheeda was the spine, the heart, and the soul. But no matter how challenging the path, the two eventually came back to one another. Viewers of Season 2 were shocked to see Kirk, who had vowed to keep Rasheeda safe, question the paternity of his own child. That spotlight came from the people, who had made fun of her during her pregnancy with their child, Carter. On a cabin trip, Kirk was discovered having sex with other women, a crime that would destroy their marriage. Like many women, Rasheeda thought that change was possible. And she stayed because she loved her family, even if the audience also wept. It seemed for a time that they were rebuilding and reaffirming their commitments.